Medicaid expansion has truly been a blessing, and it also helped us fix our budget mess too. I know you may have seen reports of the eligibility renewal process that's coming up. Trust me, we're going to work very hard to keep every eligible Medicaid recipient on their health care coverage. And if you're listening to this speech and you are a Medicaid member, please make sure that we have your current contact information on file and keep an eye out for communication from Louisiana Medicaid, your health care provider, or the Louisiana Department of Health.
The public health emergency is already winding down. We expect people to actually start losing their Medicaid coverage officially around July the 1st.
And why is that?
Essentially, 3 years ago, the government told all the states that if they would let people be continuously enrolled in Medicaid, that they would give the states a little more money to help pay for that as long as the public health emergency lasted. Now that the PHE is over, the states have a responsibility to go back in, check everybody's residency and income, and make sure the people that are on Medicaid are still eligible to be on Medicaid.
And when is that going to begin?
Well, the unwinding of this extra population on Medicaid has already begun. The state is screening members to see who's eligible and who isn't. They've sent out letters to people already, and pretty soon they'll start notifying people about their eligibility to continue in the program. And we do expect there to be quite a bit of disenrollment over the next year.
Now, why are Medicaid eligibility checks resuming?
Because the public health emergency has ended, the government has decided to resume checks on eligibility for the Medicaid program.
Tell us, what should people on Medicaid do right now?
It is critical if you are enrolled, a friend, a family member, anyone you know that's in the Medicaid program, it is critical right now that they reach out to LDH, reach out to their carrier, and make sure their latest contact information is on file. Important information is on its way to every member from the Medicaid program, and if they can't reach you, they're liable to disenroll you.
Now, what about people who are no longer qualified for Medicaid and become disenrolled?
Once you become disenrolled or you're notified you're going to lose coverage, typically people will have three options. If you're employed and your employer offers coverage, you're going to want to try to get onto that plan. If that's not an option for you, the next best stop would be healthcare.gov, our marketplace, where there is a lot of money available in federal tax credits, and it's imperative that you get some coverage and it's continuous. You don't want any breaks in your coverage.
Now, what is healthcare.gov?
Healthcare.gov is the federal marketplace where individual health insurance is sold, typically with the assistance of a lot of federal subsidies to help people afford their premiums.
Now, some people have heard about the family glitch. Can you explain what that is?
Yes, absolutely. In the past, if someone had an employer plan, their dependents and their spouse could get trapped in that plan, even if it was unaffordable for them under federal law. Recently, the IRS reversed their position on that and said, we're going to establish an affordability standard for the coverage of dependents and spouses in employer plans. If the plan fails the test, then those people are free to go to healthcare.gov and shop for an individual plan and try to get something more affordable than what the employer offered them.
Now, how can families on employer plans find healthcare.gov plans?
All they have to do is take the offer they're getting from the employer, how much he will charge every month for family coverage, and go to the healthcare.gov website, and they'll find a worksheet where they can enter in the employer's data. Once they do that, the site will test the offer. And if it's unaffordable, it'll tell them, you've got unaffordable coverage by our standard. Here's a 60-day open enrollment window to shop for coverage.
Now, some people think this may be complicated or maybe just procrastinated. Why is it important for people to meet those deadlines?
Well, the deadlines are important because you don't want to get in a situation where you don't have continuous coverage. Shopping on healthcare.gov is not that easy. I would highly recommend that people use a broker or an agent or a navigator or someone who's already done it. Typically, they work for free. You don't have to pay them for their services, and you're never under any obligation to buy anything.
Now, how can people get more information?
I would recommend you go to our website, bcbsla.com, or my blog, StraightTalkLA.com. We are writing constantly about this Medicaid redetermination, about the family glitch fix. We want to make sure everybody has a path to affordable, continuous health insurance coverage.